Hello and welcome to the DoubleACS 15's live coverage of election 2021 here in the city of Attleboro. I'm Paul Healy along with Bill Govea. We'll be talking to Todd Kobas in just one moment. The only elections that are contested are, of course, the mayoral election between the incumbent Paul Heru and the challenger Todd McGee in Ward 4. That election is contested between Michael Angelo and Roxanne Houghton, former city councilor, and in Ward 2, Kelly Bennett is up against Tanuja Goulet Arani. All of the other wards are uncontested elections, as is the school committee. There are 6 people up for election for 5 spots for at-large city councilors. Hello, Bill.
How are you, Paul?
So glad you could join us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
You bring credibility to the set.
Well, then you're in a lot of trouble.
Our first guest, the winner of Ward 3, should I mention it was uncontested? Todd Kobas.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I thought I had reached out to ask that Bill Govea not be here.
Oh, zing.
Already? No, it's great to be here. It's a pleasure. And the thing that was important for me was to just say thank you to the voters. And despite it being uncontested, I still very much appreciate the vote of confidence and people checking the box next to my name. And it's a huge honor to represent my neighbors and all of that. It's been one of the most gratifying things I've done in my life, and so thank you so much to everyone that voted for me.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
How many terms is this for you now?
This will be my 3rd term.
Okay,
so it's incredibly rewarding work. The software company where I work with, the products we work on touches billions of people's lives, but the focus there is on changing little buttons, and it's changing, touching billions of faceless individuals, whereas, serving the residents of Ward 3 and talking to them and being able to have such a big impact is incredibly rewarding and fulfilling. But it's also, it's great to set that example for my kids and to show what it's like to sort of be part of a community and all that, and really participate. So it's great, and I wish everyone the best of luck. And as we see the results start to come in, but it's wonderful.
So, what's the difference between participating in a contested election and an uncontested election?
More sleep.
Yeah.
It's a great question, and I know the politically correct answer is to always say that it's great to have competition, and that's part of democracy, and that is the great thing to say. But this summer, because it wasn't contested, I was able to spend a lot of time with my kids, and we were out hiking and doing all sorts of things. And I hate to say it, I do appreciate that, and that's one of the things that, when I talk to my wife about should I run again this year or not, there's always the balance between family life and serving on the council, because it's essentially volunteer work. It's 20 to 30 hours a week of work as a city councilor for essentially no pay. It's time away from your family, and so it's a tough consideration. So I was grateful that this was uncontested.
Well, congratulations, Todd. Thank you so much for joining us. I guess your Tuesday night schedule is set for the next few years.
It certainly is. Yeah, no, thank you for everything you guys do, and it's always a pleasure to work with DoubleACS and all that. So,
excellent.
Thank you very much. Have a great night, and congratulations.
All right.
We'll see you.
We do have results in. It looks like, you want to take the mayoral race, Bill?
Here we go.
There are the final figures there.
Okay, well, basically, in the mayoral race, it's pretty much 2019 all over again.
Exactly.
There will be no change in the mayor's office, as Mayor Paul Heru has been elected in, frankly, an even bigger landslide than he had 2 years ago. Heru, by these numbers, wins with 4,493 votes to 2,351 votes for Todd McGee,
Yep.
who was a very attractive, very
Yes.
intellectual candidate, somebody who really offered a lot to the city and to the people in it.
Yep.
But 66%, 2/3 of the vote.
Yep.
I think that's a pretty clear, again for the second time in a row, a pretty clear mandate
Yep.
for Mayor Heru that people like what he's doing,
Yep.
and he's going to continue to be the mayor for what he says will
Yep.
be his last term.
His final term. 66% of the vote for Mayor Heru, 34% for Todd McGee. I thought I recalled Heather got 30% of the vote, Heather Parika, when she ran in 2019. But I thought the Sun Chronicle op-ed earlier in the week nailed it. Two very, very good candidates. Paul Heru deserves to finish the job he started. We're actually finally seeing some downtown redevelopment in Attleboro, which people have been talking about since, as far as I know, the 80s. And we're finally seeing that happen. But I also think the Sun Chronicle got it right. I certainly hope Todd McGee stays involved in local politics. He's got a great resume. He obviously cares. He was really, really hustling out there every single day. I joked with him earlier when he came in on my show that he's learned how to operate on 3 or 4 hours sleep. But congratulations to Mayor Heru, and I certainly hope Todd McGee sticks around and stays involved in Attleboro politics. I think he has a lot to offer.
He certainly does, and when you can bring his level of expertise and experience to the local level, that is a tremendous advantage, and I hope he continues to lend that to people. But reflect for a second on Paul Heru is now, not only is he a third, going to be I guess this is his third term,
Yes.
a third term mayor, but he is a legitimate political force in the city's history.
Yeah.
He may not serve as many terms as some of the others by his own choice, but he has shown an amazing ability to win elections. He doesn't win them by a little.
Yeah.
He wins them by a lot, and that's the result of a lot of hard work. It's the result of people respecting, what he's done, and you have to give him credit. He's run very good campaigns the last few times out.
Yep.
This was a really good campaign. He didn't have the animosity that existed 2 years ago.
Exactly. Yep.
And I think he played it about as correctly as you can possibly do a campaign. And he's a forceful politician.
Yep.
You never know what can happen in 2 years. But if he wanted a fourth term, I don't think he'd have any problem getting it.
And his critics would say that there are some communication issues with members of the council, maybe some department heads. I know there was a battle with the fire department union about protective equipment and things like that. But when he campaigns, he gets out door to door, knocks on a lot of doors. And if he does have communication issues, he doesn't seem to have communication issues when talking to voters in the city of Attleboro one-on-one.
No, and I think that's one of the big strengths. The mayor, I know, looks fondly at me, and I look back just as fondly at him often. But he does a good job. He's a good mayor. It's that constituent service part of it that really, I think, people hold him in high esteem for that.
Yep.
He's open. He's responsive. He doesn't like it when I say he's thin-skinned, but he is probably the most thin-skinned politician I've ever met on the local level.
Yep.
But you can't argue with results.
Right.
He is an excellent mayor. He's done a great job. His programs are going on, and 2/3 of the people of Attleboro who cast ballots tonight agree with that. So congratulations to the mayor, and congratulations to Todd McGee.
Thanks.
It's very tough to go out your first time, especially when you don't have a lot of political experience to
Right.
draw on the local level. It's really tough just to walk into a local political race and win it,
Yep.
especially against a very entrenched incumbent.
Some other results for the 5 city council at-large positions that were open. Leading the way with 19% of the vote was Jay Delisio. Ty Waterman also got 19% of the vote. Our next guest, Kathleen De Simone, came in at 18% of the vote. Richard Conti got 16% of the vote. Peter Blair, 15% of the vote, just barely edging out another very impressive newcomer, Darryl Velez, who's got a wonderful resume and a really, really big give a care factor about the city of Attleboro, and I hope Mr. Velez sticks around as well.
Yeah, it looks like the vote margin between Blaze and Velez was about 140 votes.
Wow.
That's really an impressive showing for your first time out when you're running against all incumbents. That's congratulations to the councilors who are going to return. But that's a good showing, and we probably haven't heard the last from Mr. Velez.
All right, well, let's welcome Kathleen De Simone to the set. A fellow, Kathleen and I do have some.
Congratulations.
Hi, Kathleen.
Nice to see you again.
Do you want to tell Bill what we have in common?
Rugby.
Rugby players
Rugby.
at Bridgewater State College.
My goodness. Well, obviously you weren't injured as many times as
No.
Paul was.
That's the beautiful thing about rugby. That you have no padding, but yet amazingly people seldom get hurt. So there's something to be learned there.
Exactly.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. I am very, very happy. Forgive the informal attire. It's a long day.
Yes.
Election day is a long day. The hair's a mess, but
you
it's
had
all good.
Plus, you had a city council meeting earlier. I
Yes.
came into the studio and looked up on the
Yes.
board, and there was a city council meeting
We had a
going
speed
on.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a little bit under an hour. We got a lot done. So, but I'm happy to be here. Jim handed me the results when I walked in because I said, I don't know if I want to go on if I don't win. So he gave me them at the perfect time. I'm really excited to be able to continue working on the council and helping to move Attleboro forward. And I'm thrilled with the vote count. I take that as a vote of confidence, and I appreciate every single one of those votes. And all the people who came to vote, I spent most of the day at La Salette, which is 2 polling places, as you know.
Yep.
There was a steady stream of traffic, so I don't know what the total number was, but it seemed like a pretty good day.
Yeah.
So I'm
Do
thrilled.
we know what the total turnout was?
How good are you at
Really
math?
I can't
we
really
know quick
tell by
add,
adding
yeah.
these up, but
Yeah.
I don't think we broke records, but all in all, it seemed like a pretty good day. So it was good. It's a very, very interesting day, election day.
So you're going to finally get some sleep tonight?
Yes, it's a long haul. It's a very interesting process to get here. And then I spent the day, the interesting thing was I spent the day talking to other candidates and fellow counselors, and it's interesting. There's a lot of really good interactions and conversations that go on as you're standing there with your sign.
Yes.
With people who may be your opposition or are going for another position. They're really good conversations. I had some really good conversations. It was a good day.
Excellent.
Good day to connect with people.
We have another guest waiting, so Bill,
Oh,
I'll
I'll
let you
keep it
have
short.
one more question for Kathleen.
I'm sorry.
just Kathleen, what's the difference now that you've done this more than once now? Is this different for you? Does this give you a whole different perspective going into the new term?
I'm humbled, and I've learned a lot in the last 2 years, which I won't bore you with the details. I look forward to learning more, but to using the past experience of the 2 years to make me be, I hope, a better counselor, one that's more well-rounded and aware of various different things. So I'm hoping to get better, faster, stronger, and continue to learn, ultimately.
Do you have a better grip on the Robert's Rules of Procedure
I'm
than Ty
getting there.
Waterman does?
Yes, I'm getting there. I enjoy Robert's rules, but I'm a nerd like that. But I enjoy them because you can't just have a rambling conversation like I'm rambling right now. So those rules are very helpful. So I like that stuff.
Well, congratulations,
Gentlemen,
Kathleen.
thank you very, very much.
Kathleen De
Nice to see you
Simone
both.
about to begin her second term as an at-large city councilor.
Let's go. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Kathleen. All right, Bill, via Zoom, we have Todd McGee joining us on the air, and I'm so glad Todd could...
Conversation. Good day. Good day to connect with people.
There he is. Hello, Todd. Waiting, so Bill, I'll let you have one more question for Kathleen.
I'm sorry.
Just Kathleen,
I got a little bit of a
yeah,
delay
we're
here.
getting some feedback. Sorry about that. Hi, Mr. McGee. Congratulations on your first outing, and I know it didn't go the way you might have hoped, but you must still be proud of the effort that you made and your team made.
Are we having trouble communicating here? Todd, can you hear us? Bill, do you know sign language?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear us?
All right.
No, I don't think
Bill,
he's.
hi, Paul.
Pardon me?
Hello?
There, Todd, there we
Hi,
go.
Todd, can you hear us there?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Well, congratulations on a tough race, and as I said, I know it probably didn't work out the way that you had hoped it would work out, but congratulations to you and your supporters on keeping your integrity intact and running a really strong race, and congratulations on that.
But, can you hear our questions, Todd? What we have here is a failure to communicate. Yeah.
Bill and Paul, thank you so much. It's been an amazing process. The last 6 months have taught me a lot. Gotten a chance to meet our amazing residents in the city. And it's humbling to have a conversation with someone and walk away with their trust and their hope. And so it was just a tremendous process, and I'm blessed for it. So thank you both. And it was a pleasure working with you over the months.
Yes, and you ran a clean campaign, a hard campaign, a very, very impressive candidate. Do you plan on staying involved in local politics going forward?
I want to learn more about the city. This was a great eye-opening experience. There's a lot here in the city. Again, I ran on quality of life issues, and there's more of these issues to champion. So we'll see what the future has to hold, but I'm going to be around.
Okay, excellent.
Well, congratulations again. I can share with you. I lost my first election when I ran for the top board in my town too, and then they sucked me in after that, and they got me, Todd. So run while you can. That's probably a good idea. But it would be the city's loss if you didn't remain active in local politics. So we certainly hope you do.
Great. I'll be looking for guidance from those of you with all the wisdom. So thank you both. Congratulations to Paul Heru, and we'll see what the future holds.
All right. Thank you so much, Todd.
Thank you, Todd.
All right, there we go. Todd McGee, again, very, very impressive candidate.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a great thing for the city of Attleboro that you can have somebody of that caliber who's willing to step up and do that. We've had the last two races have been between people who are, very good, smart, intelligent people, and so it's really been good for the city.
Although I don't think Todd knows as much about the farmers market as Heather.
Probably not.
Yes.
Probably not.
Joining us now, Kelly?
Yes.
Kelly Bennett, who won.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations
Pleasure to
on
be
winning
here.
the Ward 2 election.
Thank
And
you.
You're going to be busy on Tuesday nights now.
Very, very busy. I've been up until now busy with our Wednesday nights for the Municipal Building Commission and School Building Committee, but I am thrilled for the opportunity to come bring some of my skill set and experience to the City Council.
After a school building committee, this should be a cinch.
Really,
we have
in
it.
2021.
But, well, congratulations. What kind of experience was the race for you, the campaign itself?
This was such an incredible experience. I've been in Attleboro a long time, so for me, this was a deep dive into the city like no other. Getting out and talking with the residents, talking with my neighbors about issues that they care about that matter to their neighborhood. I learned so much about the city, about the history of Ward 2, so many of the residents and their family backgrounds, and it's just been an incredible, incredible opportunity and experience.
Well, now, of course, this was the easy part. Now you get into the hard part where you've got to go in and you're certainly knowledgeable on the issues and know what's going ahead. I mean, what are you looking forward to other than just participating in the meeting? I mean, what are you going in and saying, okay, other than learning and gaining the experience, what is it that you hope to accomplish, early on?
First and foremost, and I think this goes for anybody coming into a new job, is to learn from the people who have been doing it. And so I'm really looking forward to learning from all of my fellow city councilors how this all works, because as a newcomer, this is a completely new thing for me. I'm coming from a public service background, but serving in a role like this is new for me. So I'm looking forward to learning from their experience, hopefully getting a lot of mentorship over the coming months as we lead up to January, and then over the next 2 years.
You also have a lot of military experience. How do you think that will translate to your new job as a city councilor? One
of the things that the Army has taught me is how to work well with everyone. It doesn't matter if you agree or disagree, or people that you like or don't like. At the end of the day, you have to build trust. You have to build those relationships, and you have to work together. In the Army context, it's a little bit different. It may be your life or someone else's life depending on it. But here, it's the everyday lives of Ward 2 residents that matter, and the city of Attleboro that matters.
Excellent.
Well, congratulations. Now you're even though the connotation of the word has not been great lately, but now you're a politician. So now you've got to go and do this, and you'll quickly find, I'm sure, that everybody wants the new guy, the new girl, the new kid, the new woman, everybody's all in favor of the new one. But as soon as you get elected, you're not the new one anymore. Now you're now you're and now all of a sudden it's like a whole different thing.
Well, for right now, I'll enjoy the newness.
Absolutely. Take advantage of it, but that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's great to see, it's great to see talented young people, come into the council.
Thank you so much. And
great
I just want to take a moment too to say thank you to all the voters, because the people that came out today, it was unbelievable, the feedback. I did not anticipate having voters come out of the polling place and come up to me and shake my hand and introduce themselves. And it was just another layer of meeting more people. So it was just an incredible, incredible outreach today. And I just want to thank them all for coming out.
And I believe you have 2 children, I think one in high school and one in elementary school.
That's right.
Are they at all impressed?
Not at all. Not in the least. They just want to know what's for dinner.
All right. Well, congratulations, Kelly Bennett. Had you run for anything before?
No, this is my first time.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me on.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Gentlemen.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Richard Conti is going to join us on Zoom. So we go from a brand new city councilor to a longtime city councilor with Richard Conti. Richard, you came home with 16% of the vote to maintain an at-large seat. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to return.
Yeah.
It's an honor to serve on the council. It's a big job. I take it very seriously, and I'm thrilled that voters appreciate what I'm doing. It's a lot of work.
Before Bill has a question for you, but I was reading the literature coming up, and you were saying that you have you don't have many personal relationships with the other city councilors away from the council. Is that your choice or theirs?
Well, it's my choice. I think that I compliment other councilors sparingly, but I don't socialize with them. And the open meeting law is very specific. You're not supposed to talk to councilors outside of public meetings, and I honor that as a sacrosanct. It is. I'm very flattered that many people went to the polls and voted for me. It's a big number, and I'm very thrilled. It was about I think in my 4th, 5th year, I was sitting with a close friend who's no longer with us on his porch out on Deanville Road, having a cigar, and he said, Richard, he said, I know what you're doing, but don't change it. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. And he's absolutely right. I have $87.57 in my campaign account. I didn't spend a nickel in this campaign.
Wow.
I gave a sign to everybody who asked for one, so I had 8 signs out there this year. And I chose to spend my time in the council work rather than spend the time campaigning, because I saw that as more important. And so to come up with this result, I think is true to what that constituent was saying to me on Deanville Road way back when. I have been doing what I've been doing, and I haven't changed what I'm doing. And I take the job as as you said, as you quoted me, an independent position. I don't vote along party lines, and I think that Attleboro should be absent of party politics. So for that reason, I don't socialize with other councilors. And it hasn't always been that way. I mean, way back in the day when Judy Robbins was an early president, they used to get together at Jeremiah's after every city council meeting and have drinks and yuck it up. And there's no place for that anymore in my mind. I think.
Well, I'll tell you, Richard, that it certainly sounds like an exciting time. But I hope you take maybe $10 of that $87 and buy a pizza or something and celebrate, tonight. That would be good. I mean, is this time different from any of your other experiences in running for council?
No, I think the council is the work on the council is pretty even. I budget 20 hours a week for the council, and sometimes when the capital, I'm in charge of capital improvement city development, and when the capital improvement plan comes out in January, it's much more than that. It's all you can do to get through that and to lobby for the capital improvements that need to take place with the administration. And it's something that I do all year long. It's we had a battle tonight on the fire engine. You saw it. It is the most critical aspect, I think, of city planning and budgeting is that, our capital continues to degrade constantly, and sometimes it gets neglected too far, and the library is a perfect example of that. We just spent a tremendous amount of money, over $6 million, just fixing the exterior of the library, not to mention what needs to take place inside it. There's so many, there's $11 million of urgent projects in the capital improvement plan. And, you heard us talking tonight about, the free cash, 17 million, and what's going to happen to that. And, I, as much as I think capital improvement needs attention in the city, I think the city also needs to be saving some money. I think a good chunk of that 17 million should go in the stabilization plan.
Well, we certainly congratulate you on your victory tonight, and look forward to watching you in the council for the next couple of years at least.
Yeah, we want to congratulate you, Richard. I'd love you to call into my show one of these days and get into more of the specifics that you're trying to get into now, but unfortunately we don't have time for that right now. But we want to congratulate you, 3,676 votes on the night. I wonder how many votes is that per the 8 signs you put up. I'm not good enough at math, but congratulations, Richard.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. All right, Richard Conti will continue as an Attleboro at-large city councilor. I forgive him for saying my show was much better when my daughter was on with me. But anyway, now we come to another winner in the at-large city council race, Ty Waterman. And how many votes did Ty come away with? 4,414. Congratulations, Ty.
I believe that makes you the top vote getter in the race.
Tied with Jay Delisio. Oh, yes, you beat Jay Delisio by a couple of votes, looks like.
That must have been my wife and my dog.
Exactly. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. You know what we're all going to wake up and do tomorrow? Take down signs.
Yeah, please, yes.
And for all those people who have signs up in their house, wait till the councilors come, please, or let them know that you put it back in your shed in back of the house.
Yeah.
Those things are expensive, you got to save those.
$10 a piece.
Actually, you were the top vote getter by 80 votes. I just did my math better the second time around.
Well, then my dog didn't count.
Okay.
Wow. We're really a team, and that's what I enjoy so much on council. Nothing happens with one councilor. This council works so well together, and we don't register in the city hall or on Zoom. Yeah. We're not coming in as independents or unenrolled or Republicans or Democrats. We're coming in because we're one team working for the city. We may have different views on something happens, but we all really care about the city, and that's the common denominator.
Excellent.
So, and that's what's so different and what's so effective and good about local government. Can you imagine if the council or the mayor or local government worked like we do on the federal level?
Unbelievable.
Oh my God,
what would we get done?
Yeah, it's not a sign of weakness to compromise at the local level. It's not a sign of weakness to work together. Right. It's not all about winning, and that's what that's one of the things I think that you're probably proud of, and that the council strives for, and the mayor strives for, is to try to make sure that the only winners involved are really the people of Attleboro.
It's Attleboro. Yep. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
I know on my show I'm guilty of talking about national issues far too much and local issues not enough, but these local elections affect the citizens of Attleboro far more than the national elections do.
Like, for example, in the next week or two, we're going to be talking about taxes and how much people are going to pay, how it's going to weigh towards the residents versus the business. That's a direct effect on people. Probably more than a lot of things that the federal government ever thinks about doing.
Yeah.
So why is it, Ty, that we get, 70, 80, 90% turnout for presidential elections and we get 10, 20, 30% turnout?
What was
for
the
local
percentage today? Do we know?
I'm trying to find that on the
know.
notes they gave us.
I know the paper predicted 30.
Yeah.
I was a little
elections?
surprised.
That was probably optimistic.
Yeah, I think so.
But I mean, it's just amazing because I always make the joke that, if you suddenly find an asphalt plant that's going to suddenly be built in the lot next door to your house, call the president and then call your city councilor and see who gets back to you first.
Oh, you better believe it. If we don't get back to people,
Okay.
we hear about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is this going to take time away from your books about the Boston Red Sox?
I have to finish that. So this winter, I am getting back to it. 1916 World Series team.
Wow.
We got to do it.
All right.
Well, congratulations on being the top vote getter and on returning to the council, and we wish you
Appreciate it.
much luck and success moving forward.
And I got to find some way to get around besides my bicycle now.
There it
It's
is.
going to get cold quick.
Ty Waterman,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
at-large city councilor.
Okay.
All right, he'll be back with us. So yes, Ty had 4,414 votes. Jay Delisio came in second with 4,334. I'm sorry, Kathleen De Simone came in second, 4,112. So,
No, that's third.
oh, that's third. Thank
Yep.
you. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. We joining us now on Zoom. I'm sorry, I missed the name, Austin. Oh, there we go. Hello,
Hi guys, I
Chris.
actually can't hear you.
Chris, can you hear us now?
Can you hear us, Chris?
Nope. I heard the echo in my earpiece.
Oh, there we go. I
There.
hear you now. Sorry about
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. Who are you and why do you matter?
that. It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. So my name is Chris Rapier. I am now the Ward 5 School Committee elect.
Yep.
Starting in January. And it's been a lot of fun this cycle, going out and meeting people in the city. And I'm really excited to bring my energy and my enthusiasm to the school committee, as well as my background in information technology and cybersecurity. That's my intro, I guess.
Yeah.
No, and congratulations. School committee has always been a tough job for people, and it's always one of those boards where you work a lot. But these days, it's become even more hectic and even harder to work. I mean, what was your goal? What was your impetus that made you want to seek this?
Oh, sure. So I have two lovely children. Both are at Thatcher, one in kindergarten and one in the ELC. And I wanted to find a way that I could give back from a civic involvement point of view, but also from a parental involvement point of view. And this kind of meshed both of my interests beyond school committee. And it's always been a long-term goal of mine to seek elected office, however local that may be. And I met some lovely school committee people, and they seem great to work with, and I'm excited to be part of that board. I think there's a lot of good discussion that goes on in that room, and I think they all want what's best for the kids, and I want to be a part of that.
All right.
That's great. Well, now, like I said, this is the easy part. Now you head to the hard part. It'll be very interesting, and all you've got is a new school opening and a few other things. They're minor details.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And honestly, that school is so beautiful. I'm really excited to get a tour of that. I'm sure I can arrange that once I'm on the committee starting next year. And honestly, I've just been really impressed. My kids just started this year, and Thatcher is such a well-run school that I'm excited to see what the rest of the schools are like. I'm sure they're just as good. And honestly, for what we have in Attleboro, I believe our school system is great. We have excellent leadership at the top, and every teacher that I've met has been worthwhile to talk to. And honestly, Attleboro is a great place to be. Happy to be a part of the city.
All right.
Well, congratulations again. Again, much luck.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there it is. So the school committee, you're right, they are going to have a full plate with a brand new high school coming in, a couple of new gym floors, a couple of new roofs on buildings.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of them talk about the goal of reducing class sizes. Maybe we'll get to that sometime in the future. but that's going to be tough for a while. So if you joined us late, Mayor Heru has prevailed. He has won re-election. He took 66% of the vote to Todd McGee's 34% of the vote. Mayor Heru with 4,493 votes. Todd McGee with 2,351. And all 5 of the at-large city councilor incumbents who were running came away with victories, and we certainly hope that Mr. Velez stays involved in local politics. Another candidate with us who prevailed tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank
How's
you.
it feel?
Feels great. Excited, nervous.
Yeah.
You know,
This
it's,
is Michael Angelo, correct, from Ward
Yes, sir.
4? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm a bit overwhelmed, but you know, it's it'll be a lot of great things, hopefully for the city, and we have. I really feel we have a great council, and I'm happy to be a part of it, and hopefully I can add to everything that they're doing, and help the city become that much better.
Yeah. You threw me off for a second. You look younger than your picture. Bill?
I don't like any of my pictures.
Now, was this your first experience at getting out there and putting your name on a ballot, or?
Yes, I've been with Jay Delisio and his campaign ever since he started.
Okay.
And you still won. Wow. Jay's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a great guy. He's been a great friend. Yeah, yeah. And Kate Jackson's my neighbor, and I have some very big shoes to fill. And it's she's been a great help. Jay's been a great help. Julie Hall, she's helped me out a lot. I can't thank Greg Ilkowitz. He's my campaign manager enough. He's been incredible. He's probably had to listen to me 10 phone calls a day, many meetings. Our phone calls will start from 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night, and he's just been instrumental, and not to mention my counselor too along the way.
Yep.
And stuff. But it's just I have assembled a great team. I have the reason why I'm still dressed like this is I had a meeting with my group of about 6 of us, and what we do next, and let's get started.
Well, in Ward 2, Kelly Bennett, a first-time candidate, prevailed over another first-time candidate, Tanuja Goulet Arani. You had to run against Roxanne Houghton, who's been a former city councilor and has a lot of name recognition in the city of Attleboro. What do you think the difference was?
Well, Roxanne's got a lot of passion. She's very passionate. She's got a lot of experience. We share a similar interest in animals and rescues and stuff. And she has helped me out with, I needed, some help here and there. And I've looked to her who could I talk to on rescuing a squirrel or a pigeon or something or other. And so she's been really helpful like that. And she's just, she's really good. She has a lot of experience. I've been in Attleboro forever. I know a lot of people. I have a very strong business background. I'm an executive for a company, and a lot of that I've been entrusted in building up a small company quickly and large. And so it's just knocking on doors and getting out and talking to people and being sincere. And it's and what's the best for the city. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican or whatever. It's literally what's the best for the city. I've been here since I was 4 years old. So,
Another 10 years, you'll be a townie.
Yeah. I grew up in Loneycut, so School of Hard Knocks down there. So, that's great.
54% of the vote. You took 743 votes. Roxanne Houghton, 46% of the vote with 624. Close race. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm excited.
Yeah. Now, you were in landscaping for 30 years.
Yes.
Very quickly, sorry, but what's the best way to get rid of crabgrass?
Well, you got to hit it. You got to hit it hard, and it's not always. I deal with a lot of professional products and stuff, so be more than happy to help you out, and I will go around and help people out, and and just to help people out.
Paul is one of these analysts that really gets in the weeds.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. You let me know, and I'll come by and help you out.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And now you get to go and actually not run for the job, but do the job. And, and then in a couple of years, maybe run for it again. So
there you go.
Well, congratulations and good
Thank
luck.
you.
And we look forward to watching you.
Thank you for having me on, and I appreciate all the support from everybody, and this is great.
Okay.
Excited.
Michael Angelo, winner in Ward 4. over Roxanne Houghton in one of the closer races we've had. Congratulations.
Great, thank you. Take care.
Good luck.
Wow.
And good luck to Roxanne. Congratulations to Roxanne, who's a very formidable opponent.
Yes.
Michael did a good job to be able to beat her. She's a very knowledgeable former counselor and gave it a tough run.
Yep. And it was interesting that they both have such a strong interest in animals. But I'm sure Roxanne, he mentioned how she is a passionate candidate, and that she is. I don't think we've heard the last of Roxanne Houghton in that local Attleboro politics.
No, I know I've heard from Roxanne in the past, and when I hear from her, she's either agreeing with me and very passionately or disagreeing with me very passionately. And so I congratulate her on offering herself up.
Yep. All right, again, Mayor Heru has prevailed, again, with remarkably similar numbers to, as Bill Govea pointed out, to the 2019 election. By the way, in case you don't know, there's the city clerk race. Kate Jackson, former city councilor, won the city clerk's race in a very close race with Lori Sawyer. Kate came away with 3,303 votes, edging Lori Sawyer, who had 3,140. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Another winning candidate has joined us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you?
Great.
Congratulations.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Good to see you. So how was your night?
Good. Good. It was a good few months. I saw Mr. Kobas on earlier talking about the benefits of an unopposed election, and I certainly share his gratitude for that. So
it does take a lot of stress off. Although I've seen unopposed candidates lose, but thank goodness you managed to survive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's great. Now, what are you most looking forward to as you head back into?
Hopefully, getting back to normal. Absolutely getting back to normal. I know that was something that was discussed at our meeting last night with Mr. Sawyer. We were able to finally have a regular spotlight event where we celebrated our CTE program for exceptional students. We're getting back to our developing our mission and vision statement for the school district. There was a lot on the table for some big changes for the district that we were considering prior to COVID. So I think finally getting back to that will kind of set everyone at ease.
It's certainly been tough. School committees are suddenly a hotbed of political activity, and they really shouldn't be. But I mean, how do you get by that? How do you deal? Because obviously, those issues are very important, but it's not like you have a lot of say in them. At the school committee level, and yet all of a sudden you're being blamed for, or at least being held responsible for things that you really aren't responsible for.
Yeah, I mean, we do and we don't. But when Saturday Night Live is mocking school board meetings, it's a difficult situation. As far as how do I deal with it, it comes with the territory. Even before COVID, even before discussion about whether we should be remote or hybrid or fully in person, before mask mandates, before people thought CRT was coming into the schools. Yeah. Even before all of that, people had concerns about the schools. People had concern about the curriculum. People had concerns about administration. And so you're always hearing concerns. And I think city council is no different. I think obviously there's been more focus on school committee in the last 2 years. Yeah. And that's another thing I'm looking forward to, for all of that focus to go back to city council. Yeah. But it comes with the job, and I wouldn't have it any other way in terms of being able to serve, being able to focus on what our students need, what our educators need, and ultimately what our community needs from the school district.
Was there ever a point where you thought, this is just more conflict than I signed up for, and it's not worth the effort?
Yes. Simply put, yes. But not within the committee. And I think that's a great testament to our committee, is that we have, I think the 9 of us have a very wide range of opinions and views on what we have discussed over the last 2 years. But all of those discussions have been very respectful, very professional. And I credit the entire committee. I credit Chairman Withers for that. Mm-hmm. And I expect that will continue. We decided last night that that we're going to be discussing what happens after the state's mask mandate ends. That discussion will happen in a couple of weeks. So I think we still welcome those discussions, and we still welcome the feedback from anyone that wants to reach out to us.
And maybe we can get back to the good old arguments about, I don't know, teaching to the test too much with MCAS.
Exactly. And what curriculum should look like for elementary school students. Our kindergarten students too far to the third grade schedule to prepare for MCAS. And I look forward to those discussions.
A return
Pleasantly.
to normalcy.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck. I'm sure in the next few months it'll be a hectic time.
Thank you both. Thank you for having me, DoubleACS, and congratulations to everyone that ran this year. I was talking to someone today about how we do it. This is someone that was unopposed. We need more people running for office. We need more people involved, so that we can get more buy-in from our constituents. So please join us.
Do you want to thank your family and advise them of what different subjects you'll be talking
No,
about at the dinner table now?
No, of course. Over the last few years, between multiple campaigns, a campaign for the high school, my wife Stephanie has been absolutely incredible. She continues to be incredible. And of course, the kids are incredible. Although when I asked them if they wanted to come join me to hold signs today, there was very much, nope, Dad, I'd rather stay home and watch TV and play with friends. So we'll see.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And when's the next meeting?
November 15th, 7 p.m., Francis Zito Conference Room.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Thank
Congratulations
you. Have a great night.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Likewise. Wow. Busy night, and there are the election results for the at-large committee, and again, close race in the city clerk's race there. Kate Jackson, again, longtime city councilor. She's had a bunch of positions in Attleboro. Laurie Sawyer has volunteered for so many commissions. I believe most recently the Human Rights Commission.
Yep. And you know that's an office. The clerk's office. I mean, that's a job. That's a really important job. And a lot of the clerks locally now are appointed positions. I mean, they're positions that are hired rather than elected. That's probably a charter matter and all those kind of things. But that's a really powerful and important and critical position in town. And Kate Jackson is certainly a worthy victor. And it's nice to see a close race. It's nice to see two good candidates really going at it, and not going at it, but really offering themselves up and having some wonderful things. So congratulations to the new city clerk.
Yes, and Kate, was she Ward 4 or Ward 2? Where was?
You would ask me that.
No, I'm sorry, because I think that's Michael Angelo who's now taking over that seat in Ward 4. Ward 4. Thank you. I want to thank our crew as well as always. Jim Jones, we'll call him the engineer in charge, because he likes that better than the czar of all things DoubleACS TV. Dave Angel, James Friedman, and Austin Ricketts as well, doing their best, Bill, to make us look good.
Big, which is hard enough.
And Mayor Heru is with us. Congratulations, Mayor. You have won again with remarkably similar numbers to those you had in 2019.
It must be voter fraud.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. That's quite a convincing win. And again, I was stating earlier, all your wins in elections have been by fairly significant margins, and you, I think, especially with this election, you take your place among the really established and powerful city figures that have followed over the years. You've certainly won your seat and earned the respect of the voters in Attleboro.
Well, thank you, Bill. And I guess that's why it's probably the best time to leave. Leave on a high note. And like I've said before, I won't run for a fourth term. There's a couple of people, one in particular person I'm especially hoping runs to succeed me, and that person hasn't announced yet. But this race was, a lot of work. I lost about 10 pounds in the last month, making sure I got to do all my doors. I really did. I actually lost about 10 pounds. And, that usually happens every race. I lose about between 10 and 15 pounds because I'm out on the bike anywhere from 4 to 8 or 9 hours a day, knocking on doors. And, it's just it was painful. I posted a picture on my Facebook page of all the palm cards I personally delivered. Like, I don't use volunteers to to knock on doors. I do it myself. And the picture that I posted was, it was basically what I delivered to 11,000 people, and it was, it was almost 11,000 doors. It was, quite a few this time, but it's, that's the way I like to go about campaigning. It's that, at this level, I was running for state rep or running for mayor. It's that one-on-one, one door at a time, one conversation at a time, one street at a time, one precinct at a time, one ward at a time. And, that's just, it's, you have to set out months in advance to do that. Previously, I never told people how many doors I knock on. Like, I would never let that be known.
I asked you that once and you wouldn't tell me.
Right now, that's right. Yeah, but now that, I'm not running for a seat, and again, like where, door knocking would be the primary means of campaigning, it's roughly 10,000 doors each election on average. Like, my first election was about 14,000 back in 2012, but it's, my opponent, Todd McGee, was a gentleman. He was a very polite person. And, I think he would have done well running for mayor if he had served as a city council member first, because he's a bright guy. I think he's, like he could do well, in the city. The thing that I think, was he might have missed is how connected I am to a lot of people in the community. The biggest piece of my pie, is constituent service work. That's the work where people are contacting me every day. I probably between 1 to 2 dozen times a day, people are reaching out to me, Facebook messages, emails, phone calls. And, that's when, that's when I actually get a chance to really help people, one at a time. Now, Paul, are you laughing because you hear my dog in the background?
Yes, Sashi's obviously very happy.
That's Sashi. Yeah, she's in her crate right now because I'm actually in my office at home, and I have people, out in the back, my backyard. We had, probably about 25 or so people show up, just to, we had a couple of candidates here as well. Lori Sawyer, Daryl Velez, and, they were both there. Sadly, they both lost. I mean, they, somebody has to lose. There's always got to be a loser in a race, and someday that might be me. But so we have, who else do we have here? Tanuja Arani was also here. She ran for Ward 2. So, yeah.
Now, your critics would say that sometimes you have communication issues, difficulty there, but obviously you don't have difficulty communicating with people one-on-one.
No, I mean, you can accuse me of being a lot of things, but being a poor communicator is not one of them. I post everything I do on Facebook, and a lot of those things on Facebook are, something that we put on the city website, or something that we already talked to the newspaper. So Facebook is oftentimes the last step in what I do, when I'm posting to the community. But there's a couple of city council members who never contact me, like ever. They don't, and that's, I mean, there's some city councilors who I talk to several times a week. I'll Laura Dolan, Kathleen De Simone, Diana Holmes. I talk to the three of them. Rick Conti, I meet with. I have a standing meeting once a month with Rick Conti. Mark Cooper, I meet with, once a week. Typically once a week.
Yep.
So there's a number of city councilors I meet with on a regular basis. The school superintendent and we have a standing once a month meeting, and so for anybody who says that I'm I often say, have you called me? Have you sent me an email? Have you sent me a Facebook message? Have you, done a courier pigeon, smoke signals, Morse code? I mean, there's a lot of ways to get me, and I respond to everybody. And like I said, that's the part I think my opponent Todd missed. He was going around knocking on doors, and But when I drop that big pile of
Yes.
doors I knocked on at the debate, and Bill, you were there for that. You know, that's how many doors I've knocked on since 2012. And then I put a picture of on my Facebook page of how many palm cards I personally delivered. And I think that's the part that he missed, you know, and a lot of my critics were then swinging over to him. And this is a point I mentioned in one of the two debates. Like, if I can do something for you, I will. If I can't, I'll always explain why. And sometimes some people, they, you know, are not happy with the explanation when I tell them I legally cannot do that. I'm not allowed to do that. I don't have the statutory authority to do that. What you're asking me to do would violate somebody's civil rights. They didn't accept that, and they would swing over to my opponent. My opponent would only get one side of the story. And that's something I think over and over again I observed, was that he wasn't actually getting the other side of the story about something. And I think it would have behooved him, and he would say, oh, I didn't know that. There was a lot of situations I would laugh. And, I could go into a lot of stories about that, but you know, it's I don't know what other questions you guys have. I don't want to be the one chapping away the whole time.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Mayor, you've got 2 years now. You know, as you said, you're going to finish up this year. What would you've got a lot of political capital. You've got a lot of leverage. You're not running again. You don't. Not that you were ever worried about it anyway, but now you can even be less worried about offending anybody, about doing anything like that. How are you going to leverage that, and what goals are you really going to push on that in the next 2 years, so that when you leave in 2 years, people say, boy, Paul Heru, he really spent that last 2 years and got this done or got that done?
No, that's a great question. So I am going to run for something else. I truly don't know what. I'm looking at a couple of different things right now, maybe 3 different things, and I have to figure out which one I'm going to run for. So number one, I still have to behave myself. I can't, I can't suddenly just, say, well, I can do whatever I want, because I'm not running for mayor, but I will run for something else. So I still have to behave myself. And, my rule about behaving myself is if I don't want it in the newspaper, I don't do it. Don't think it, don't say it, don't do it, So thoughts become words might become actions, then, that's what you want to avoid. So, but as far as, what would I want to do in my last couple of years, one of them is finish the new high school on time and on budget.
Yep.
And that is something when we have a once a week meeting with the high school development team. And that once a week meeting is every Wednesday morning. It's always remote. It used to be in person, but it's always remote now. I'm usually the quietest person in the room. And because we have an excellent team, they know what they're doing. And on the rare occasion that they need me to chime in on something, I'll chime in or use my, leverage to, contact National Grid or Eversource or whoever it might be. But that's number one, the high school on time and on budget. Another thing I'm really excited about is really pulling off this performing arts pavilion at Highland Park. That is something that would probably cost maybe, several $100,000. We have a funding source for it. I need to, we have a design. I put it on my Facebook page. It's a YouTube video. Actually, Jeffrey Miller, the designer, was here tonight at my house. And, something we started working on. Mr. McGee was very critical of why that didn't happen yet, because I campaigned on it going into my second term. And that's right. I didn't pull it off in my second term, but COVID happened. I mean, COVID was another full-time job navigating that. So that's another thing. Another thing is there's more places I'd like to build sidewalks in the city. I want to make Attleboro a more walkable and enjoyable city for people to get out, walk their dog, walk for health, walk a baby stroller, be safe on the side of the road when they're standing waiting for a school bus. So there's a lot of places that I'm definitely going to be putting sidewalks. There are a couple of places like Pike Ave and Lindsay Street where it's under consideration, and I'm taking input from the members of the community. Yep. So, but that's another thing. A couple other projects I want to start. They won't actually happen on my watch, but start the process for a new Council on Aging building. And that's one thing. Also start the process for a joint public safety complex for police and fire. And also we have that $17 million of ARPA money, so that I basically have all of that allocated to one large project or another. And, all of those things are, things that, some of them people are going to be able to observe and say, wow, I'm actually enjoying this benefit. Like I can see it.
Yep.
Others are like the water. I'm going to use 11 million of that 17 million to upgrade our water infrastructure. That's something no one's really going to see. They're not going to be able to say, well, I can go use this at a park, or I can observe that walking down the road. But in the back of their mind, it's just kind of one less thing to worry about. So, those are some of the projects that I'm looking at. Also, I just sent down a request to the city council right now to add $300,000 to the special ed stabilization fund. So that would top off that stabilization fund at $1 million. When I took office, we didn't even have a special ed stabilization fund. It was zero. There didn't exist. It wasn't even an account for it. So now we have that, and also topping off school funding over $3 million over net school spending. So that's another achievable thing. So all these things kind of, there's actually a lot more than that. These are just big items, but all these things sort of just move the city forward just a little bit. And whoever takes over after me, if they continue on with some of those things, they'll be in good shape. The city will be in good shape, but then they'll also be able to do their own projects. I finished off a couple of things that Mayor Dumas had started, and I always give him credit for that. And whoever takes over after me will, that person will, finish off some of my projects, and then they'll also start their own new ones.
A couple of quick things. One, the good news is redevelopment is finally happening downtown. On a serious note, what percentage of the new housing coming to Attleboro is going to be affordable or low-income housing? And then number two, all those books we see behind you, what percentage of those have you actually read?
Oh, 80%. Honestly. So, so you have over there.
There we go.
Above me over there, and then over to the side over there. So, yeah, roughly 80%. I'm always behind. In fact, what you can see right above me, right there, everything that's horizontal, I have not yet read. Everything that's vertical, I have read. So this is my reading stack right there. That now that the campaign's over, and maybe a couple of those as well. So, and actually, I'll show you what $350,000 of wall art looks like.
Wow.
So, yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, and actually, my Harvard diploma has a typo in it. So true story. All places have a typo. Have a double space between the word "the" and "here." And anyway, downtown
affordable housing.
Yes, downtown revitalization. So that's actually another thing I'm really excited about. Is another period of time, another 2 years to see through. And Catherine Fierick, she is all the department heads are outstanding. Like they all are excellent in their own right. They all do amazing things. Catherine is different because she's what she's working on was vacant for 10 years. And so basically, sorry, somebody just came in the house. So answer your question, though, there's about that was Laura Dolan, city councilor. So the projects that we have going on in the downtown is about 7 more housing projects that are going on, and that's going to bring in about 500 new apartment units. Out of that, so out of those 7 buildings, roughly half of those buildings, and I say what's half of 7? How can you have half a building? Because one of them may or may not be mixed income. So roughly, 3 or 4 of these buildings are going to be mixed income, or 3 or 4 are going to be market rate. And of that, you'll have anywhere from 10 to 20% or so, maybe as much as 25% of the units are going to be affordable. And there's a difference between low income and affordable. Low income is the housing authority. Affordable is sort of a subsidized rate, and the city or the state or the federal government gives money to a developer or a housing project of some sort, like a housing building, and that money then results in like a reduced rate for rents for a certain percentage of those. So 37 Union Street, across the street from where you guys are right now, that is I think it's 59 units, and there is it's I think 8 or 10 of them or so, some 12, I forgot the exact number, it's of that magnitude, are going to be what's called affordable. It'll be reduced rent. So but basically of the 500 units that are coming on board, we can expect 10%, 15%, 20%. And I just threw a note.
Anything else, Bill?
No,
Oh,
I just want to take it before we let you go, Mr. Mayor. Again, congratulate you. It's a very convincing victory. You should be very proud of it. And I think the people of Attleboro spoke tonight. They spoke clearly. They spoke decisively. And congratulations and good luck in the 2 years going ahead.
Thanks. Hey, and Bill, it's you gave a nice debate the other night. So I'm sorry that things unfolded the way they did. You and I have dusted it up on emails before, but you know what though? You were a very good debate questioner. You asked fair questions, and and I was worried about that. I was, but you know what? You did an outstanding job. So thank you for that. And Paul, it's always nice to be on your program.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Mayor Heru. We'll have you on a couple of weeks from now.
Very good. Thanks, John.
And Sashi will probably be quieter during that time as well. It's just after her walk.
What happens is when people come in the house, she starts barking. That's what it is, because she's in the crate right now. I can't take a chance with her getting outside off leash, or she'll just run away. I'll never see her again.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, Mayor Heru, congratulations. Your third and final term coming up.
Yes, thank you, gentlemen. I'll talk to you again.
Okay. All right. Well, there it is. Mayor Heru, as you said, pretty convincing victory again.
Yep, absolutely. Nobody can say he snuck in. I mean, that's for sure. Yeah. He came right through the front door, and the one thing about the mayor that you have to hand him is that he is who he is. He doesn't try to be anything else.
Yeah.
I don't think he tries to be. Doesn't try to be phony. So, but it was a good night, and you should probably go through and let all these people who just tuned in to see your pretty face.
Oh yeah.
Let them know who won.
The contested races for the mayor of the city of Attleboro, Paul Heru took in 4,493 votes to Todd McGee's 2,351. A 66% of the vote went to Mayor Heru. 34% went to Todd McGee. In Ward 2, that was the newcomer Kelly Bennett prevailed with 65% of the vote over another newcomer, Tanuja Goulet Arani, 775 votes for Ms. Bennett, 421 for Ms. Arani, so that's a 65% to 35%. A solid victory for Kelly Bennett. A very close race in Ward 4, where the new guy, Michael Angelo, prevailed over Roxanne Houghton. Michael took 54% of the vote. Roxanne took 46% of the vote. And that's it for the contest. Oh, and then in the at-large city council, 6 candidates were up for 5 spots. All 5 incumbents prevailed. But Mr. Velez came very, very close with 14% of the vote, just behind Peter Blair. Just behind Peter Blair, and Rick Conti came in with 16% of the vote, and we hope Mr. Velez stays involved in local politics. Bill, any final words?
No, I think there were no huge surprises in the election. I don't know what the final turnout number was, but I'm sure we'll find that out. Your local elections are important, and these affect your life daily, probably more than the national ones do. So, let's hope that Attleboro keeps building from here. And next year, you're going to have a new mayor. So you're going to have 2 first-time, candidates, most likely, running for mayor. So it's good luck to all the new councilors, all the new school committee people, Mayor Heru, everybody, and we'll do it all again in 2 years.
And I wish I had the names, but the list is too long to read them all now. I also want to thank all the people who helped us out at all of the different individual wards, helping us total up the vote totals. Thanks to Jim Jones, Dave Angel, James Friedman, and Austin Ricketts. I'm Paul Healy, along with Bill Govea. Thank you so much for joining us for our election coverage 2021 on DoubleACS.